All of the technical details can be overcome, they are easy to do, but having a good photographic concept, idea, message that you're trying to convey, that is the most important thing. My name is Hesham al-alammal. I'm a photographer from Bahrain, from Muharraq specifically. Started very long time ago when I was young, about in middle school. My uncle, Yusuf, he introduced me to photography by buying me the first camera. That was my original beginning. But then there was another beginning after I came back to Bahrain. After I finished, I started attending workshops and photography photo walks, and started working with the community on doing real art photography. So I also had a change of equipment, because I started, of course, analog when I was young, and then picked up a digital camera, but then also returned back to analog about 5 years ago. There was an initiative in Sheikh Ibrahim Center to build a photography center, and we had many workshops in Ben Matar House and many other places. These workshops were actually very instrumental in building my voice in photography and making me aware about the different photographers. Also, the exhibitions here in Bahrain, they are very encouraging for people to do real work and to participate in different exhibitions. So this was the real beginning for me as an artist. As you know, a photograph can actually freeze a moment in time, a moment in history. And my main passion for doing photography is the changing world that we are witnessing around us. Bahrain has witnessed the advent of modernity since the 70s and the 80s. Many places, many cultural events, many everyday practices are changing around us. And my main source of passion is to capture this cultural identity of Bahrain and to try to preserve it. And that's why most of the places that I would go to do my photography is around the sea, some architectural places and some old alleyways in Bahrain. My main inspiration is the sea, people working in the sea. And I've also covered a lot of architecture from Bahrain, especially traditional houses. We also have in Bahrain many wildlife, especially birds that are migrating, fish. We have a lot of plants that are local to Bahrain. So I also try to photograph these. My other frequently visited places are the alleyways, especially in Muharraq and Manama, because there are traditional alleyways with traditional architecture and simple people who are living in these places. So I try to cover them with my photography. And we also have been working on photographing change in Bahrain. So places that have changed, especially the coastal life, the seashore. And as you know, the seashore is a great inspiration for a lot of people in Bahrain because we are an island. And I would photograph people either working there, kids having fun around the seashore, and that has been my biggest inspiration working in Bahrain. We actually had a couple of projects documenting the change that has happened in Bahrain. We had a big exhibition in Bin Matar House about a year ago, and it covered the people who lived at the seashore. It was entitled At the Edge, and doing the research to do this project actually allowed us to meet a lot of people, either fishermen, people who had their houses at the seashore, people who lived near the seashore and interacted with the sea. And we documented the change in everyday life, their access to the sea. So for example, we had a visit to south of Muharraq and Halat Bumahir. We met a lot of people there who talked about how everyday life used to actually interact much more with sea events. So they had contests. A lot of people had swimming contests there. They would just swim from Bumahir Castle to the other side, which is in Manama. And fortunately, some of these have been documented with photography. We also documented fishermen and their livelihood and how the fishing material, fishing boats have changed. So for example, one of my main subjects is a dhow. It's a very old dhow, about 130 years ago. The dhow is called Rabha. I have it actually here in one of these big photographs. And this dhow is 130 years ago. It used to belong to Mr. Salman bin Matar, one of the most famous pearl merchants in Bahrain. Again, because of the maintenance of the dhow, they actually are using now new materials to protect the dhow from seawater. So instead of replacing the wood, they are now covering it with fiberglass sheets in order to maintain its livelihood. So change is very big. Bahrain has adopted new technologies to adapt to the sea and to sea life. Many of the divers that are actually still diving for pearls have utilized the new technologies, and we're trying to document these using documentary photography. Participated into a lot of exhibitions. In Bahrain, I was shortlisted for many joint exhibitions, especially things organized by Sheikh Ibrahim Center. I've also have been selected to participate in the annual Fine Arts exhibition in Bahrain. And this is really a great honor because many established artists, Bahraini artists, do present their work in the annual Fine Arts exhibition. I have also been selected or shortlisted for two photo books in Arles in France. My photographs have been also selected to be displayed in museums in Sharjah for certain events. And I've also had my work published in magazines and photo books in Germany and in the UK. But again, having a solo exhibition, I think, is the best prize for a photographer, because you can display much more of your work and people will interact and give you feedback about what work you're doing. So my last exhibition in Al-Riwaq, I think that was my best exhibition yet. Maybe one of the first difficulties is access, and some photographers are a little bit shy, so interacting with people is something that is a difficulty, especially if you're going to do portraiture of people who are working in the sea. But alhamdulillah, Bahrain is the people of Bahrain are very friendly, and you can approach them to do that. Another obstacle is actually the return to analog photography. But it was also an appropriate medium for documenting traditional Bahrain, because it gives you the feel, the look of old photographs that have been photographed in the past century. We are also working on a community of photographers, so we do meet once a month, and we do exchange ideas and projects. We do go on photo walks, so I think this is a big support. If you have an active community of photographers in Bahrain, this will be a big support for any photographer who is trying to learn the craft and actually even find places and find subjects to do photography on. I think a great inspiration is to work with other artists and other photographers. In Bahrain, alhamdulillah, we have a small community, but they are very active. And we have some people who are very famous internationally, so they are a big inspiration. And many others who are very active internationally, and they are actually an inspiration for any photographer here in Bahrain. Well, the turning point in my photographic life is the contact with the community, I think, through workshops and through going into photo walks and doing exhibitions. Usually a person, especially young people, they think that just using a camera or their mobile phone to take a perfect photo, whether it has perfect colors, it has the perfect composition, is enough. But I think discovering that art has much more layers than just the aesthetics and the beauty of the photo. It was my turning point. So through going to exhibitions and talking to photographers and learning from experienced photographers, I learned that the concept behind the project is the most important thing. And the technical things are secondary to that. So usually when I talk to a young artist, he would tell me, or she would ask me, what camera are you using? What film are you using? And I always try to emphasize and tell them this is not important. What's important is the concept. What is in your mind when you take the photograph? What is in your heart when you take the photograph? This is much more important than the technical details. All of the technical details can be overcome, they are easy to do, but having a good photographic concept, idea, message that you're trying to convey, that is the most important thing. But alhamdulillah, yani Bahraini people are really very friendly. So whenever I take or try to take a photograph, they would be inquisitive a little bit. Why are you doing this? What will you use it for? But then when you talk to them and explain I would usually show them some of my past exhibitions, some of my past photographs, and then they would allow me to take photos. As I said earlier, talking to people also helps you as an artist, because you learn a lot about themselves, what they are about, why are they hanging out near the sea. So for example, fishermen, people working on maintaining dhows, it's always really friendly to talk to them. Even among our community as photographers, we talk a lot about how to deal with people and how to respect their privacy. But alhamdulillah, most Bahraini people are really friendly. And using the medium of photography, you would know them even more and more. In the past 2 years, we also started another project to document the lives of people who have contributed to Bahrain. And we would usually organize visits to them. Some of our crew would take a video of them talking about their lives, but my role would be to take a portrait of them. So I have now a collection of many of these people who in the past century were instrumental to Bahrain's development. And I'm thinking about converting it to a photo book with portraiture of these people that we have met along that journey. A special place that I usually go to is al-Halat. So al-Halat area, it's actually Halat al-Slata or Halat al-Naim. And I would go there to photograph dhows or small boats or people working, interacting around the sea. I would really be happy to photograph anyone, but especially kids. So kids would hang around there, and the first time I met a couple of kids, they had their dog, and they had a kind of makeshift sitting area with chairs. And the traditional Bahraini games like Kairam, and they were having fun there and playing with the dog. Then revisited the area about 1 year ago, yes. And I found some kids and I showed them the kids and the dog. And they said, oh, we remember this dog. He was very friendly. He was hit by a car, but we rescued him and he was really friendly with us. So my main things that I cannot forget is these interactions with young people, with people at the sea. My message to young photographers who are picking up the camera is, again, build your portfolio through concepts. Of course, it's not easy to find your voice through photography, but if you try hard to work at doing meaningful stuff that conveys meaning and that has a message, then you will be able to build your portfolio and build your abilities to do so. My message to the world is we in Bahrain, living in a number of islands, we have really a big diversity in terms of sea life, bird life. We have a big diversity culturally. And my message is try to come and see Bahrain and try to enjoy our seashore and our sea life. This is a blessing that we have in Bahrain, and we're trying to keep this blessing safe. So please come and enjoy Bahrain just like the people of Bahrain do. So if my life was an episode, I would probably call it having a message. I think that just living without a purpose is useless.